Well, hi there, folks. After a significant absence, the picks of the week are back. And you got to go back to the 80s to get what that actually means. Anyway, I was gone. I was on a road trip. Then I was recovering from said road trip. The week coming back was basically over the course of 2 different weeks. And then this past week was Denver Startup Week, and I'm working on some really cool stuff there. But here we are on Friday, and I am back with the video presentation of the picks of the week. As you've noticed probably recently, I've been doing some stuff with genres. Did science fiction, did fantasy. Today is wrapping up Horrific New Horror Week. So let's just jump right in with this product from Ishmael Alvarez. And they find folks at Fat Goblin. This is 5th edition horror. It's dedicated to taking your 5th edition fantasy gaming deep into the territories of dread, madness, terror, and darkness. And Fat Goblin is a solid house doing great work in lots of different game systems, but they went all in on doing 5th edition support, and this is one of theirs. Obviously, you could see a little Cthulhian element in this bad boy, so if you want some Eldritch Cthulhian horror, this is one of the sources you can draw on. Nice little opening piece here. Horror is a feeling, a place in your mind, and for some, a final destination. Some mad few wish to know the little terrors and the vast dead that populate the dark places between the light, be they candles or stars. The only thing between you and the fiends and the fright contained within is the heartbeat that it takes to access the forbidden knowledge within. So that kind of sets the tone right there. That was Monday's. We'll move on to Tuesday's pick, which is another Lovecraftian-oriented piece, specifically called Dateline Lovecraft. It's a special resource for anyone running any version of Lovecraftian horror, no matter the system. The folks at Cthulhu Reborn crafted this immersive prop that enables players to search through the articles and adverts to find valuable clues and tantalizing references, enhancing their in-game experience while providing GMs more hooks to play off of. Yeah, this is a newspaper you can print out and hand out to your players, and they can dig through and find cool stuff. You can use it to build stories. This, of course, gets into it's an Arkham-based thing, which, of course, Arkham is a famous location within Lovecraftian horror. But man, you could translate this into just about anything you wanted to do in that space. I love the concept. Right. So the next day we got into Terror Tales X. There's a whole series of something X from Beyond Belief games, so you want to check that out. It's a simple grab-and-go game that harkens back to the golden age of comics' tales of horror adventure. There's also a lot of assumption in the Terror Tales X about your casual knowledge of D20-driven gaming of the old-school variety. It's cheap and interesting and certainly worth a look, along with the rest of the Beyond Belief game series. So these guys went in for inexpensive but evocative kinds of stuff. So you want to take a look at that as a nice, inexpensive way to use your old-school style gaming to do some of these classic comics era kind of things. The next day, I brought out Strands of Fate 2nd Edition from my friend Mike McConnell. This is, even though it's an overall expanded way to play Fate, one of the strands, as he calls it, Strands of Cthulhu, makes this a highly enhanced version of Fate from Voidstar a fine inclusion in Horrific New Horror Week. It's a complete game system, not requiring any other core Fate books, and it represents Mike McConnell's vision for how you can expand the Fate system into a bit more detail without sacrificing its core ideas. So this is a cool overall, grab it and play Fate in a new way kind of thing. But again, it does present a lot of horror along with some other genres of play. And today wrapped up the week with the Shivering Circle. We're closing it out with a suggestion from my friend and horror game aficionado, Mark Carroll, designed as a self-contained single-session RPG experience. The Shivering Circle also serves just fine as the launch for an entire campaign of nerve-wracking and psychologically bending horror gaming. It's also an excellent delve into British folklore. So some cool stuff there. And again, this is just one of those pieces that steps, very firmly and simply as a night's gaming that you can then do something more with. So if you've been thinking I'd like to give horror gaming a shot, but I'm just not sure how that's going to work for me and my group, this would be a nice, simple, and inexpensive way to try that for a night's gaming. And with Halloween coming up, hey, why not? So there you go. Now, a lot of people probably following along know, Sean, I'm not a big fan of horror gaming. In fact, I don't like it at all. But that doesn't mean I don't respect it as a genre that lots of people enjoy. And as I said, with Halloween coming, this seemed like a fine thing to focus on so people could get ready for special horror gaming experiences for the holiday. So there you go, folks. That's the picks of the week. As always, thanks for following along. Yes, if you click on these links, you will be going to DriveThruRPG, and if you make purchases, I do receive affiliate income from that. Want to be sure I'm upfront about that, and I really appreciate it, and as does my dog Raya, who, I can afford to put kibble in her bowl because you bought stuff through the links. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week. Keep on gaming!